So if you've got a 12-volt ATV type pump that's crapped out on you, don't throw it away and go buy a new one. Let me show you how to fix it quickly, easily, and for a whole lot less money. So I've got this little Ironton 8-gallon, I think they call it an ATV sprayer, just a sprayer that you can put behind an ATV. I put it on my golf cart, and sometimes on the ATV. It's getting to where it sprays. When you first pull the trigger, it'll spray out 15 feet or more, and then it just backs down to just a spray like you'd want to spray a fence line or something. It just it doesn't keep the pressure. So I'm assuming it's the pump. Got another pump here. Should be a direct replacement for that pump. Only thing I don't like is it doesn't have the quick connect. This pump here comes with a quick connect. So what I'll do is cut these wires off, splice that quick connect into the wires that come on this, and then we'll still be able to quick connect. I don't know what else it could be except the pump. That's why I bought the pump. The pumps are cheap. So I got the pump. We're going to pull this off and see. The new pump comes with a couple of hose clamps. So it should be just about as simple as taking the old clamps loose. Nothing's ever simple, is it? This is the hose that goes down in the tank. Everything on the reviews that I read said it's a direct replacement, that you just slap this one in. It'd be easier to take this off first. Now all I'm doing, in case you can't see, is just taking off screws that hold this on. Now that hose should come out a lot easier. Little black widow spider underneath it that didn't get me. That's good. So I'll clip this off and splice these wires on so I can use that same quick connect on the new pump. I want to keep it. I don't want to clip it off so close that I can't use it, because this pump still works. It just doesn't work as it did when it was new. So, and if this doesn't fix the problem, then like I say, I've got a spare pump here. So we'll do that. That's the old pump. Get it out of the way. We will strip these wires, twist these up so they'll go in the crimp. These are just some butt crimps, heat shrink, which is good when you're working with water. I don't know what the exact size to use. Let's see what we got here, if that goes in there. Well, that one goes in real good. Put it in and crimp it, pull on it. That is nice and tight, but I think I'm gonna go just a little tighter, just to make sure. All right, that is crimped. Put the other one on. It should be a pretty simple swap. I may want to strip that back just a little more. Those butt connectors don't let you strip it too much, but I'd like to get about at least a 1/4 inch in there. Get another pink one, because that one seemed to work real well. That is up in there. Good crimp. Other wire and the other side. And squeeze it, crimp it good. Very good. I'll heat shrink it, but I'm gonna wait and make sure it works before I go to all that trouble. It should fit right in there. These are not labeled. Yes, they are. Got a little arrow right there that labels this out. And it also says that from the factory it was tested with water, so there would be water in this pump. So I would think if you were going to get this, if you were going to buy this in the wintertime and it was going to sit in a mailbox and it was freezing outside, that might be something you want to avoid. I don't know how much water that they drained out of here. That could be an issue. If you got it in the wintertime and you're prone to freezing hard, that could be an issue. So clamps came with it. We'll back that clamp off just a little bit. Put it on, clamp it down. I'll do it a little bit more later, making sure I'm putting the new clamps on there, not the old clamps. If it's going to supply the clamps, I'm going to use them. I'll save the old clamps because there's nothing wrong with them, and because I just don't throw much away. I'm cheap like that. All right. Clamp it down. I don't want to squeeze it so hard. I'm going to break that plastic outlet. And then I'll put these bolts back in. Screws, I guess they might be called. They're really a bolt. On this particular one, this particular leg, it's got the strap that, just a retainer strap for the lid, so you don't lose it. So I'll put it back on just like I found it. Put it through there. Put it down in there. Works just right. Let me plug it in and see if it works. Then we'll put some water in it and give it a test. So I hooked it up to the 12 volt running. Sounds good, runs smooth. Let's put some water in it. So we put some water in it. Let's turn it on. It'll start sucking. It'll come up to pressure. They're self-priming and also they're on demand. So they don't work unless you tell it to work. When you pull the trigger, it works. And let me show you what this thing is doing. Like I told you before, it was only spraying, 10 or 15 feet, and then it would come down to, not a trickle, but come down to very, very small spray. And now look at it. That's about, sucking a little air, but that's about 20 feet, and it is holding it too. Stops when you let go. So that's what the problem was. The little old pump, it just give out. And I've had that sprayer probably, I bet I've had it 6 or 8 years. And first time I've ever messed with it. There's nothing wrong with the tank. There's nothing wrong with the hoses. There's nothing wrong with anything except the pump was just, kind of gave up a little bit. Man, I can spray some stuff now. So as of right now, I highly recommend this little pump. And you can hear that pump bumping every now and then. It starts losing a little something, it'll bump back up. It's on demand. When you need it, it's there. I'll look and see how many PSI this is, but it's a lot. It's quite a bit. I mean, so really, really good. Again, you can hear it bumping every now and then. I'll come back in here with either my heat gun or with a little torch, and I will heat shrink those so they are waterproof. And as of right now, it's 12 volts DC. It's 5 amps. And it cutoff pressure is 80 psi. So that thing is moving. Moves 1.2 gallons per minute through a little bitty dinky hose. That's quite a bit. So an Ironton sprayer that I love, but I tell you what, this is going to be a good little pump. Hopefully it'll last me 6 or 8 years like the other pump did. So I'm really impressed. I like what it's doing. Amazon gave it good ratings. I'm going to give it a good rating too, and going to highly recommend it. If you've got a sprayer that's just not quite doing what it used to do, I'm going to recommend that you do a swap. And this just, absolutely, you saw how easy it was. Just a clean swap. Can't beat it, man. Can't beat it. That thing is wearing out. Woo! I like it. All right, that's about it. I highly recommend it, and we're gone.